Hello students, today in this video we are going to discuss a literature chapter My Brother, My Brother. By the end of this video, you will be able to understand the summary and word meanings and phrases of pages 23 and 24. So open your Fragrance English Reader Book, chapter number 3, My Brother, page number 23. Students, you have already done this chapter in your homework, so we are going to revise this chapter. We'll begin our revision by reading pages 23 and 24. But before proceeding further, we'll discuss the brief summary and detailed summary of this chapter. So, first of all, we'll revise the brief summary of the chapter. This is a story about a brave hearted boy named Singh. He was courageous and fearless. These qualities helped him to face difficulties and save his brother's life. Now we'll move on to the detailed summary of this chapter. This is an inspirational story of a boy named Singh. His younger brother had acute pain in stomach and nothing was working to give him relief. So his mother said that he must be carried to a hospital. But his father was away on an expedition, so Singh decided to carry his brother to the hospital in Kalaghat, which was at least 50 miles away. He had to go through a jungle, cross two rivers, and reach the main road. Singh started his journey alone, carrying his brother on his back. He walked through the jungle. The moon rose, the sky blazed with the stars. Singh was tired, so he laid his brother under a tree on the cliff above the riverbed. Suddenly he heard the squeal of elephants. Below him on the riverbed, the elephant traveled. One of the elephant's trunk came round towards the boys. Singh was frightened, but the elephant went away. He thanked God for his narrow escape. Then he went into the cold water of the river. He crossed the first river. Luckily, there was a bridge at the second river. But he heard a steady roar of flood in the second river. He looked for the bridge, but it was not there. So he plaited grass into a rope. He tied the rope round his brother and himself so that they could keep together. He entered into the cold water. He kept the child's head above the water and moved on with great difficulty. And they were through. He was walking on and on. Then he found the road. He went on in a bullock cart and then in a truck. He reached the hospital. He waited outside. The doctor cured his brother and told Singh that his brother was alive and he could meet him. Doctor praised Singh for his act of bravery. So students, this was the detailed summary of this chapter. I hope you liked the story. Students, now we'll begin with the reading of page number 23. For that, we'll revise the difficult words and phrases. So let's start. First word is brave-hearted. Brave, Hearted. Hearted means not afraid. Next word is courageous. Courageous. Courageous means brave. Next word is appreciate. Appreciate. Appreciate means admire. Next word is ring, means to twist. Next word is rags, means old and torn clothes. Next word is resort, Resort. Resort means sport. Next word is doomed, Doomed. Doomed means death. Next word is photographic expedition, Photographic, photographic. Expedition. Photographic expedition means journey connected with photographs. Next word is beaters, Beaters means people who beat drums to frighten wild animals. Now we'll move on to the phrases. And our first phrase is with a pain in his stomach, उसके पेट में दर्द के साथ. Next is with a photographic expedition, छाया चित्रण अभियान के साथ. Next is in great pain, बहुत दर्द में. Now we'll start reading. So let's start. Open your page number 23. Shesing's little brother lay in the hut with the pain in his stomach that was getting worse. Shesing himself was only about 12 years old, small and cheerful, a child of the jungle. His brother was several years younger. So, students' story begins when Shesing's little brother was lying in the hut as he had a severe pain in his stomach. Shesing was 12 years old, brave and courageous boy. Child of jungle means he was knowing all the ways of jungle. Now we'll move on to the next lines. I'll wring out rags in boiling water and lay them on his stomach, said his mother. She did not weep. She had lived through everything over and over again. It means being a brave and patient lady, Shesing's mother would wring out rags in boiling water and lay them on his stomach so that he could be relieved from his pain. Students, now tell me how old was Shesing? Shesing was 12 years old. And what was Shesing's brother suffering from? Shesing's brother was suffering from stomachache. Now, next, the steaming rags did not help. After a while, Shesing's mother said he must be carried to the hospital at Kalaghat. Then Shesing thought that his brother was dying. All jungle people somehow thought that the hospital was the last resort of the doomed. So here, Shesing's mother tried her best so that his brother could be relieved from his pain. But he couldn't. Instead of it, his pain was getting worse. And she said he must be carried to the hospital at Kalaghat. So Shesing thought that hospital was the last place to save his brother. Now, students, my question is, what did Shesing's mother suggest? Shesing's mother suggested that his brother must be carried to the hospital. Now, come to the next lines. I will run for my father, he cried. It may be days before you find him. Shesing's father was away in the jungle with a photographic expedition. All the men of Laldwani village too were with the expedition as beaters. Shesing looked at his younger brother and saw that he was in great pain. So now Shesing decided to search his father, but he thought it would take many days to search him as he along with other men of village had gone to the jungle for a photographic expedition as beaters, and his brother was in great pain. Now my question is, where had Shesing's father gone? Shesing's father had gone in the jungle with a photographic expedition. Next is, what did Shesing's father do for the expedition? Shesing's father worked as beater for the expedition. Now we'll revise the word meanings and phrases of page number 24. And our first word is perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps means possibly. Next word is blazed. Blazed means shone brightly. Next word is sight. Sight means seen. Next word is glance means gaze. Our next word is Jostle. Jostle means a rough push. Next word is squeal. Squeal means sound or cry. Loud sound or cry. Next word is tusker. 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 Tusker means an elephant. Tusker. Next word is snorted. Snorted means breathed noisily. Next word is scrambled. Scrambled. Scramble means to move or climb. Next word is flimsy. Flimsy means not strong. Next is gravel. 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 Gravel means small round stones mixed with sand. Next is plodded steadily. It means walked with heavy steps. Students, now we'll revise the phrases on page number 24. And our first phrase is in a bullock cart, बैल गाड़ी में. Next is for the last part of his journey, उसके आखिरी हिस्से की यात्रा के साथ. Next is with the shaggy claws, खुरदरे पंजों के साथ. Next is on the riverbed, नदी के किनारे. After that we have of bamboo poles, बांस के खंभों का. Students, now we'll start reading of page number 24. Kalaghat was at least 50 miles away, but Sher Singh hoped that if he could get through the jungle and cross the two rivers in between, he might get a lift in a bullock cart or perhaps even a broken down truck for the last part of his journey. So, students, now Sher Singh thought if he would cross the two rivers and get a lift either in a bullock cart or a broken down truck, he would easily reach Kalaghat, which was 50 miles away. Will Sher Singh be able to take his brother to the hospital all alone? Let's read about this. Sher Singh walked alone, carrying his brother on his back. He walked through the jungle. Night fell. The sky became purple black. It blazed with stars. Sher Singh had good eyes. He could still see. Presently, the moon rose. The sight of bear tracks in the dust, the square front paws, and long back one with the shaggy claws made him glance round uneasily. Sher Singh walked alone. It was getting dark, but he could still see because of his good eyesight. But the presence of bear tracks in the dust made him uncomfortable. So, student, where was the hospital? The hospital was in Kalaghat. How far was Kalaghat? Kalaghat was 50 miles away. How did Sher Singh carry his brother? Sher Singh carried his brother on his back. How did the sky look at the night time? The sky became purple black and blazed with stars. Now we'll move on to the next lines. On a cliff above a river bed, Sher Singh knew he could go no further. Without rest, sweat was running off his shaking flesh. He sat Kunwar down gently against a tree. It was then that he heard the jostle and squeal of elephants. Below him on the riverbed, the elephants travelled. He could see the cows and the babies and one great old tusker. It was playing its trunk to and fro to learn whatever the breeze could tell it, and suddenly it hesitated. The trunk came round towards the boys, chasing chilled with fright. With Kunwar to carry, he could neither climb nor run. Later on, Sher Singh felt restless and decided to take rest. So he set his brother down gently against a tree. At the same time, He heard the trumpet of elephants. He saw many animals, like cows with their babies and old tusker. Now Shesing got scared because one of the elephant's trunk came round towards him. Students, now describe the incident when Shesing saw the elephants. Shesing saw a herd of elephants. One old tusker's trunk came round towards the boys. My next question is, why did Shesing get frightened? Shesing got frightened because one of the elephant's trunk came round towards him. Now come to the next lines. Do you think the tusker will come towards the boys? Let's read about this. The tusker snorted, trumpeted, and shook its head. Suddenly it hurried on angrily up the riverbed, and all the herd went with it. They disappeared. Shesing breathed one more prayer of thanks this time and got ready to move with cover on his back once again. He scrambled down into the riverbed. Now the old tusker tried to get hold of the boys, but in vain, and at last it went away. And Shesing heaved a sigh of relief and thanked God and got ready to move with his brother on his back again. And he scrambled down into the riverbed. Student, why did Shesing breathe prayer of thanks? Shesing breathed prayer of thanks because the elephants went away. Now we'll read the next lines. He stepped into the river. The water was cold and deep. Thank goodness there was a bridge at the second river. It was flimsy things made of bamboo poles, stones, thick grass, and river gravel. But it was at least a bridge. He plodded steadily on. Students, now chasing reed to the second river, he thanked God that there was a bridge at the river. It was not strong enough, but he made up his mind to move softly. So, students, where did Shesing enter next? Shesing entered in the river. Next is, where was the bridge? The bridge was at the second river. So, students, today we have discussed a brief summary and detailed summary of the chapter, did reading of page number 23 and 24, and also revised word meanings and phrases on these pages. Now, you all have to read this chapter till what we have done today thoroughly for better understanding, and also follow the SNAP homework schedule and learn the word meanings and sentences at page number 22. Thank you. Have a nice day.